Scorpio, welcome or welcome back to the channel. I'm Jen with Bohemian Path Tarot, and today we are doing September readings. I've got the Tarot of Mystical Moments here. It's got a glossy finish. I just mentioned that because sometimes there's a bit of a glare or lens flare. But we shall persevere. Also, let me just mention these are general readings for a general audience, so it's not the same as a one-to-one reading. Sometimes they really resonate. Sometimes, there's just a nice inspiration. So that's cool too. If you know your sun sign and your rising sign and your moon sign, check out the videos for all three of those, because sometimes that'll give a nice full picture or a fuller picture. And finally, I skip over the shuffling part simply because it's solemn and long and you have better things to do with your time. So I'm going to go ahead and give the deck a really good shuffle, but I will fast forward to the reading part and I will see you there in just a tick. Okay, Scorpio, let's see, King of Wands, Eight of Wands, the Chariot, and the Hierophants. Okay. Wow. All right. Leo also got the Eight of Wands. Leo got the Eight of Wands as their main energy. So maybe you two should have a chat. Your main energy is the Hierophant. Now that is all about connecting with community and learning with community, and sometimes community as a form of sort of higher knowledge, spiritual knowledge, finding your tribe, and sort of evolving with your tribe. So that's kind of your main focus, or a place of sort of focus for September. And what happens sometimes with the Hierophant is, in other depictions of the Hierophant, there's like a kind of a guru character or a kind of a priestly character. And so sometimes, the central character is you're the sort of guru character. And Scorpio, I think you don't mind taking that on in your circle or in your tribe. So the issue can be sort of building that community, finding that space to build community, and making it a safe space. The issue with the Hierophant can be that sense of hierarchy, right? How do we do that in this day and age? When the tarot cards were evolving, when they first came to be, a hierarchy was expected. But we kind of don't know what to do with that outside of like the army or military sort of structures. There's a place for hierarchy in certain kinds of institutions, but in other kinds of institutions, in this modern age, we kind of don't know what to do with that, right? So here in the Hierophant, and with your power as a guru, what do you do with that? What do you do with that, sense of building community without these power struggles? Even if you're someone who really likes how you use your power, what do you do with your power? Where does that go? How do you use it for good? How do you honor it? How do you trust it? So in community, in relationships, using power, making, or not and promoting equality, promoting reciprocity. That's, that's kind of the focus for September. Now, the first place of practice is with this King of Wands. Doesn't matter the gender, could be male or female, could be Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. This would be someone outside of you who is super passionate, who is fiery, who is charming, maybe very creative, maybe very bold. And this character, you can tell just by, in the tarot, when we're doing cartomancy, we look at the direction that, cards are kind of facing sometimes. This character is looking towards the sort of central energy, which we've just discussed is you, the guru. So this character wants to bring some fire to you. What are you going to do with this? How does this kind of impact your power structure, your power dynamic? How are you going to work with this? Scorpio, I am going to suggest this. It's different for different Scorpios. I'm going to say that first of all. But in looking at these other pieces in the reading, I'm going to suggest that, let me say this first. Sometimes in readings, I get a very clear picture of this is going to happen, then this is going to happen, then this is going to happen, right? In this reading, I get a very clear sense that you are being offered a choice. This card is very much a choice. This is something that you're going to explore, learn. This is something that you get to discover. And this character, male or female, maybe Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, fiery, charming, passionate, is going to help you explore. What you find with this discovery, that's up to you. But it is going to be in the realm of something that allows you to explore your own relationship to your sense of your power. Let's come back to this. Let's look at these other pieces first and then see if I can flesh that out a little bit more for you, because that sounds really weird. But okay, so the Eight of Wands is also a passionate card, but this tends to be about messages coming into you. So something that you have put out into the world is coming back in the form of messages, invitations, interviews, requests for attention. So for some people, this could be something like if you put resumes out to places you want to work at, this would be requests for interview. If you put like photos out on dating apps, this would be winks, swipes, whatever those little intros, however people like reach out to you on dating apps, this would be that sort of a thing. If you put content out on social media, this would be followers, this would be DMs, this would be people reaching out, people wanting to collaborate, that sort of thing. Since our central sort of focus is building community, these sort of messages, this sort of attention, this sort of invitations, introductions, whatever this is, would be likely also very connected to this community piece, this connecting with your community building, consensus building piece. I say consensus because, the Hierophant, not only is it community building and sort of this spiritual piece, there's also often sometimes it's social justice or community action. It can be around something like a school or community action, community endeavor, a cause. So if you've set yourself up there as an activist for something, you'd be not only the guru teaching people or educating people about this cause or issue in your community. And maybe people are coming back with donations or requests for more information or something like that. So it could be along those lines as well. Obviously, in the US, this is election season. So another example would be like voters' rights if you're helping get out the vote, or if you have a particular candidate you're supporting, something like that. This could be requests for more information or along those lines. This is also a time when school is starting. So if you're like a parent volunteer at your kid's school and it's time to get started with some fundraising or PTA activities, the Hierophant is also often very associated with schools. So the messages could be something along those lines. Okay, so I think we get an idea. There's several examples there. And like I said, Scorpio, this could be, it's hitting different Scorpios in different areas of their lives. So there's, take it as it resonates. Now, finally, the Chariot card indicates fast motion. This is like green light, go time. And usually it's kind of sudden progress. This can mean forward motion, kind of suddenly. It could be the kind of thing in the example where if you've put out your resume, you get an interview, and all of a sudden you're in a job. And it could be specifically at a car dealership or driving a truck or something. It could be specifically associated with cars or trucks or anything that has to do with cars, because the Chariot obviously is associated with cars and the transportation industry. It could just be that whatever you started, whatever little community endeavor you started over here, it might have been very small, but all of a sudden it takes on its own sort of life of its own. And all of a sudden, this person invites you to be the leader or promotes you to a position that all of a sudden you're running this agency or this committee or something along those lines. All of a sudden you're a specialist or you're the boss or the guru, something along those lines. All of a sudden you're the spokesperson, the leader, the expert, the committee chair. Does this person hand the mantle to you, nominate you into a position of leadership, give you a title? Or for the scenario where it's more personal, this could be something like a cosplay group. This could be a friend that becomes, a mentor. This could be a friend that becomes a lover. Take it as it resonates. But in any case, whatever this sort of small group that you're leading or that you're starting or you're hanging out a shingle, it branches out, and it seems to branch out rather quickly, and leads you by the end of the month to a whole new place. It might be that this particular group evolves very quickly, or this involvement leads you to a whole other place or another role that's really quite amazing. That this involvement then leads to other collaborations and a whole new sort of role. I would love to hear whatever role this might be or whatever it leads to up here. If you feel like sharing, Scorpio, please feel free to drop it in the comments below. I would love to hear about it. But in any case, It looks like something that starts as maybe a passion project or an interest or a social cause or just something you like to do with your friends takes on this whole other dynamic. Scorpio, I hope you love your reading. Thank you so much for dropping by. Take good care of yourself. Until next time, bye for now.